My dear friend, every single day, millions of men are silently facing issues like nighttime urination, inflammation, or even the risk of prostate cancer, without realizing that part of the cause could be sitting right there on their dinner plate. Yes, it's not always about aging or fate written in the stars, but sometimes simply about a familiar dish you had last night. After years of observing how diet affects men's health, I've come to realize it's time we seriously reconsider our health, because there's a silent dietary pattern slowly, patiently, yet seriously damaging your prostate every single day. In fact, there's one truth that many overlook. Some of the most familiar foods can be the culprits, causing inflammation, hormonal disruption, and creating the perfect conditions for uncontrolled prostate growth. Ironically, these foods are often considered normal or even convenient in most men's daily meals. Today, I'll walk you through the top 5 enemies of your prostate, foods you should avoid as soon as possible if you want to protect your health and prevent bigger troubles down the road. Trust me, this list might give you a mild shock. Especially the very first group, something many people still consume daily, thinking it's probably harmless. But before we begin, I'd really love to know, where in the world are you watching this video from? It would truly make me happy to know that I'm joined today by gentlemen from all corners of the globe. Drop a greeting in the comments below. And if you find this content helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so each week, we can continue meeting here to care for our health in a proactive, joyful, and science-based way. Now let's begin with the very first culprit, a food that may seem harmless, but quietly throws your entire urinary system out of balance. Food Group 1, processed meats, convenient today, trouble tomorrow. Ranked 5th in the list of foods to avoid in order to protect your prostate is processed meats, including familiar items like sausages, bacon, ham, or canned meat. These are all products that have undergone industrial processing to extend shelf life and enhance flavor. It sounds convenient and appealing, especially when you just need to open the fridge, pop it in the microwave, and you've got a quick and easy meal. But unfortunately, that convenience comes at a cost, and that cost is your health. These meats often contain preservatives like nitrites and nitrates, two compounds that can transform in the body into nitrosamines, which have been linked in studies to cancer risks, including prostate cancer. On top of that, processed meats usually contain extremely high levels of salt, which can raise blood pressure, cause water retention, and put stress on the urinary system. And as you know, the prostate is closely connected to urinary function. When pressure builds up on the kidneys and bladder, the prostate is easily affected, which can lead to frequent urination, nighttime urination, and even inflammation. Not to mention the amount of saturated fat and trans fats found in this type of food. These stubborn fats can promote chronic inflammation, one of the leading risk factors for benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH, or worse, cancer. And did you know consuming industrial meats too frequently can also disrupt the body's production of male hormones like testosterone, directly impacting sexual function and long-term prostate health? So what's the solution? Prioritize natural sources of protein: chicken, fish, eggs, or lean beef, cooked simply at home with little oil and minimal chemical seasoning. A homemade burger with clean beef, natural spices, and fresh vegetables sounds way more appealing than a preservative-packed sausage, doesn't it? And if you're wondering whether these changes really make a difference, trust me, cutting back on processed meats is one of the simplest yet most effective steps to improve prostate health and balance male hormones. We've just started with a familiar enemy, but there are still other names on the list that might surprise you, especially a food group often mistaken for being healthy. Don't miss the next part. My friend, if you're still watching this video, I'm truly glad to know that you care about prostate health, something seemingly small, but deeply tied to your quality of life every single day. Drop a number 1 in the comments below to let me know you're still here with me. Food Group 2, dairy and dairy products, when nutritious becomes a double-edged sword. Next in the list of foods that harm the prostate, and this may come as a surprise to many, is dairy and dairy products when consumed in excess. Milk, cheese, yogurt, items we often think of as healthy, can actually throw the male endocrine system off balance if not used properly. The issue lies in a compound called IGF-1, a natural growth hormone found in cow's milk. When IGF-1 levels in the body become too high, it can stimulate uncontrolled cell growth, including in prostate tissue. Several studies have shown a link between high IGF-1 levels and the risk of prostate cancer in men who consume large amounts of milk over time. Moreover, animal milk contains natural hormones like estrogen and progesterone. When a man's body absorbs too much of these hormones, it can disturb hormonal balance, leading to chronic inflammation or abnormal growth of the prostate. This is especially concerning for those with a family history of prostate problems, where daily dairy consumption may further increase the risk. Another factor worth noting is casein, a protein commonly found in milk, which can cause inflammation in some individuals. For men with sensitive systems, this low-grade inflammation may affect the bladder and prostate region, leading to symptoms like painful urination, frequent nighttime urination, or a constant sense of pressure in the lower abdomen. But this doesn't mean you have to completely break up with dairy. The issue here is quantity and smart substitution. Plant-based milks like almond, oat, or coconut milk are great alternatives, free of animal hormones, less inflammatory, and still packed with essential nutrients. Yogurts made from soy or coconut also help with digestion and support the immune system, both of which are important in maintaining a healthy prostate. If you still love cheese, switch to lower-fat, lower-sodium options like ricotta or cottage cheese. Enjoy them in moderation, no need to be too strict. And for yogurt lovers, always choose unsweetened versions, because as you'll see in the next section, refined sugar is actually the hidden assassin we need to be much more cautious about. From a sweet glass of milk to a gut-friendly yogurt cup, sometimes things that seem harmless can silently cause long-term impact. But there's still another food group, just as common, and its effect on the prostate runs deeper than you might think. Food group 3, saturated fats, the invisible enemy quietly undermining a healthy prostate. Ranked third in the list of foods that harm the prostate is a very common group, yet one that's often overlooked: saturated fats. This is the type of fat that typically appears in fried foods, fast food, and fatty cuts of meat. You might be thinking, it's just a few French fries. But the truth is, those seemingly harmless snack-time treats are actually feeding chronic inflammation inside your body, and that's one of the key contributors to prostate problems, including BPH and even cancer. Saturated fats don't just affect the prostate by promoting inflammation. They can also narrow the blood vessels, reducing blood flow to various organs, including the prostate. When oxygen and nutrients aren't delivered adequately, the function of the gland gradually declines over time. In addition, this type of fat can disrupt male hormones. Some studies show that diets high in saturated fats may increase free testosterone in the bloodstream, which might sound good at first, but in reality can stimulate uncontrolled prostate cell growth, especially dangerous for those with genetic risk factors. So what's the healthier alternative? Gradually replace saturated fats with healthy fats, such as olive oil, avocados, nuts, and especially omega-3 rich fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines. These foods not only help reduce inflammation, but also improve blood circulation and support hormonal balance, creating a stable and healthy environment for your prostate to function optimally. You can also make small adjustments to your cooking habits. Instead of deep frying, try baking, steaming, or lightly pan-searing with healthy plant oils. Trust me, the flavor won't suffer, but your health will definitely benefit. It's interesting to note, sometimes we don't have to eat too much. Just eating the wrong thing is enough to trigger unwanted consequences. And if saturated fat is the silent spark, then the next food group adds fuel to the fire by disrupting your entire hormonal system, and it's something many people consume daily without even realizing it. My friend, if you're still watching at this point, thank you for sticking with me. I truly appreciate and value that. Drop the number 3 in the comments below to let me know I'm not talking to myself. Food group 4. Alcohol, the social companion, silent enemy of the prostate. Coming in second on the list of factors negatively affecting the prostate is alcohol and alcoholic beverages, especially when consumed excessively or too frequently. Having a few drinks at a gathering might seem harmless, but if it becomes a weekly, or worse, daily, habit, the impact on male hormonal health can be more serious than you think. Alcohol disrupts hormone balance by increasing estrogen while decreasing testosterone production, creating an environment that's far from ideal for the prostate. Hormonal imbalances are a known factor in triggering inflammation and promoting abnormal prostate cell growth, something no man over 50 wants to hear. And it doesn't stop there. Alcohol also directly irritates both the bladder and the prostate. This explains why many people who drink beer or spirits frequently experience symptoms like frequent urination, difficulty emptying the bladder, or always feeling like they need to go but can't. If these symptoms persist, they may be signs your prostate isn't doing so well. Another point many people overlook is that alcohol dehydrates the body. When the body lacks hydration, urine becomes more concentrated, making it more likely to irritate the bladder lining and prostate, increasing the risk of urinary infections or inflammation. However, this doesn't mean you have to completely cut off alcohol. The key here is moderation. Reducing the frequency and volume of alcohol consumption is already a big step forward. If you still want to enjoy social events, you can opt for lighter drinks, like a small glass of red wine instead of cold beer or strong cocktails. And just as important, always make sure your body stays hydrated. Drink water between alcoholic beverages instead of waiting until your head spins to reach for that water bottle. Additionally, a diet rich in antioxidants, especially from vegetables and fruits, can help counteract some of alcohol's negative effects on the prostate. So if you're planning to cheers, remember to pair your drinks with leafy greens and fresh fruits. It's both polite and scientifically sound. You could say alcohol isn't inherently bad, it's how we use it that makes it either a tonic or a toxin. But if you think that glass of wine is the most dangerous thing in your kitchen, just wait for the next section, where a sweet little enemy is silently stirring up trouble for your prostate every single day, and it might just be sitting inside your morning cup of coffee. Food Group 5, refined sugar, the sweet taste that leads to unexpected trouble. If there's one hidden enemy that the prostate truly fears, it's refined sugar and fast-absorbing carbohydrates. Items like pastries, soft drinks, white bread, or pasta made from refined flour not only cause weight gain, but also stir up a hidden wave of inflammation and hormonal imbalance within the body. When you consume foods rich in simple sugars, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. To counteract this, the body is forced to release large amounts of insulin. And if this cycle repeats daily, your system can fall into a chronic state of inflammation. That inflammation becomes one of the underlying causes driving prostate cell overgrowth, raising the risk of enlargement and even cancer. But it doesn't stop there. Excess sugar intake also contributes to abdominal fat gain, the type of fat that particularly loves to mess with male hormones. When belly fat accumulates, it lowers testosterone and increases estrogen, creating the perfect environment for abnormal prostate development. Another thing many overlook. Simple starches like white rice, white bread, or regular noodles have an absorption rate almost identical to sugar. They cause quick blood sugar spikes and crashes, making you feel hungry, tired, and unknowingly reaching for another sweet snack. A cycle that's hard to break but comes with obvious consequences. Now the solution isn't to eliminate sugar completely, because we all deserve a little sweetness in life. What matters is making smart substitutions. Prioritize whole grains, oats, brown rice, and slow-digesting carbohydrates. These keep blood sugar stable, reduce insulin spikes, and are especially beneficial for digestion. In addition, low-sugar fruits like apples, pears, and strawberries not only satisfy your taste buds, they also provide antioxidants, vitamins, and fiber, all of which help fight inflammation and protect the prostate. So the danger doesn't lie in the sweetness itself, it lies in how fast, how much, and how often we consume it. But now that you know how to manage it, you're already one step ahead. And if you're wondering, now that I've cut out the harmful foods, what should I eat to restore my prostate? Get ready to keep listening. Part 2. The silent heroes in your diet that help protect and strengthen male health in the most natural and scientific way. Food Group 1. Tomatoes, the red warrior that defends the prostate. If there's one food that's popular, simple, and highly effective in supporting the prostate, it's the tomato. This bright red fruit contains lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that gives tomatoes their signature color and also helps reduce the risk of prostate enlargement and cancer. Lycopene works like a cellular shield, protecting the body from attacks by free radicals, those unstable molecules that damage DNA and accelerate aging. For the prostate, lycopene helps slow down abnormal growth while also reducing inflammation, a major risk factor in many male health issues. Interestingly, lycopene is better absorbed when tomatoes are lightly cooked. That means you don't have to bite into raw tomatoes like apples every day. Dishes like tomato soup, homemade tomato sauce, or roasted tomatoes with olive oil all help your body make the most of this compound. A very good reason to enjoy spaghetti, as long as you watch the white carbs that come with it. Besides lycopene, tomatoes also provide vitamin C and potassium, two nutrients that support immunity, lower blood pressure, and improve bladder muscle activity. something men with nighttime urination will surely appreciate. Tomatoes may not be a miracle drug, but in the world of food, they're one of the most consistent and effective allies for prostate health. And if you think tomatoes are already impressive, wait until the next section, where seemingly simple green vegetables carry powerful anti-inflammatory and hormone-regulating properties. Food Group 2, cruciferous vegetables not just for digestion but true prostate heroes. Next on the list of prostate-friendly foods is the group of cruciferous vegetables, including broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and kale. These vegetables may seem simple, but they contain sulforaphane, a powerful compound with anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, and cellular detoxification properties. Sulforaphane acts like a natural cleanser, helping the liver eliminate toxins from the body, which in turn reduces the burden on the urinary system and the prostate. More importantly, it helps prevent abnormal cell growth, a crucial factor in preventing conditions like prostatitis or cancer. That's not all. Cruciferous vegetables also contribute to balancing male hormones by supporting the liver in removing excess estrogen and promoting more stable testosterone production. For older men, this is especially valuable, since hormone imbalance is a major factor behind many prostate and sexual health issues. Another benefit, cruciferous vegetables are rich in fiber, which helps improve digestion, reduce constipation, and relieve pressure in the lower abdominal region. This doesn't just benefit the colon, it also helps the prostate breathe easier, particularly for those who often feel bloated or full in the pelvic area. If you're not a fan of plain steamed veggies, don't worry, you can lightly stir-fry them with olive oil, toss them into a salad, or even blend them into a green smoothie if your taste allows. Just remember, simple preparation and minimal seasoning help preserve the most beneficial compounds. A plate of greens may not be as impressive as a grilled steak, but it's a quiet foundation that keeps male health stable year after year. And now, from the green garden bed, we move to a tiny but mighty food, often overlooked, until you learn it's packed with essential hormones and minerals for the prostate. Food Group 3. Pumpkin seeds, small but mighty, protecting hormones and the prostate. Don't let the small size fool you. Pumpkin seeds are among the most nutrient-dense foods you can add to your diet to support prostate health. They're an excellent source of zinc, a mineral critical for maintaining stable testosterone levels and supporting healthy prostate cell function. Zinc deficiency in men, especially after age 50, has been linked to a higher risk of benign prostatic hyperplasia, BPH. Pumpkin seeds naturally help replenish this mineral, and also contain phytosterols, plant compounds that help lower levels of DHT, dihydrotestosterone, a hormone that can fuel prostate growth when in excess. That's not all. Pumpkin seeds also contain natural omega-3 fatty acids, a healthy fat with strong anti-inflammatory properties, helping to improve circulation and ensure the prostate tissues are properly nourished. One thing that makes these seeds an ideal choice is their versatility. You can eat them raw, lightly roasted without salt, sprinkle them on salads, add them to your morning oatmeal, or grind them into a dip or dressing. Their nutty flavor and crunchy texture are sure to satisfy even picky eaters, and your prostate will thank you silently every day. From just a handful of seeds, we see the power of eating right, not complicated, just consistent and intentional. And next, let's move on to a familiar, simple drink that's often called the natural bodyguard for the prostate, if used correctly and in the right form. Green tea might seem like a familiar beverage, but it holds an impressive ability to protect the prostate. It contains catechins, a group of powerful antioxidants that reduce inflammation, neutralize free radicals, and help prevent abnormal cell growth in the prostate. Multiple studies have shown a positive link between regular green tea consumption and reduced risk of prostate cancer, as well as improved urinary function. Men who experience frequent urination, nighttime trips to the bathroom, or the feeling of not fully emptying the bladder may find gentle relief from this tea. But that's not all. Green tea also works as a natural diuretic, helping the body flush out toxins and maintain fluid balance. However, you should choose pure, unsweetened green tea because bottled versions, despite being labeled as healthy, often contain high sugar and artificial flavors which go against prostate wellness. If you're not yet used to green tea's slightly bitter citrusy taste, try diluting it or adding a few slices of ginger or a splash of lemon to enhance the flavor and aid digestion. And most importantly, drink it in the morning or early afternoon, because no matter how beneficial it is, you don't want a cup of tea keeping you awake all night and up for the bathroom 3 times. A single cup of tea may not transform your life overnight, But if you stick with it daily, your prostate will definitely appreciate it in the long run. And finally, to wrap up this list, let's look at the gold standard foods for men's health. Not just because they're rich in healthy fats, but because they directly influence your hormones and immune system. Food Group 5 Omega-3 Rich Fish, the perfect duo for heart and prostate health. Omega-3 rich fish such as salmon, sardines, tuna, and mackerel are not only known for their cardiovascular benefits, they are also powerful natural anti-inflammatories that support prostate health in a comprehensive way. Omega-3s help regulate hormones, improve blood circulation, and prevent the overgrowth of cells, especially in the prostate. Not only that, these fatty acids also help reduce DHT levels, a form of converted testosterone closely linked to prostate enlargement. This makes fatty fish an important part of a diet that protects men from common health issues after middle age. Another benefit rarely mentioned is omega-3's ability to strengthen the immune system and reduce systemic inflammation, something that's not only good for your prostate, but also helps you sleep better, ease joint pain, and feel more alert in the morning. In other words, if there's a kind of natural lubricant for your entire body, it's omega-3. If you don't eat fish often, whether due to taste, budget, or simply because of the fishy smell, you can still supplement omega-3 through high-quality fish oil capsules. Just make sure to choose products from reputable sources, free from heavy metals, and always consult your doctor before use. A few servings of fatty fish per week may not make you 10 years younger, but they'll definitely help you run smoother, quite literally. And now that we've explored both the foods to avoid and the ones to include, let's wrap up this full picture of how to protect your prostate, so you can begin your health journey today. Part 3. Eating right, the first step to protecting the prostate from within. Now that you're aware of the foods to avoid, the next step is to focus on what you should add to your daily meals. Because even if you eliminate inflammatory and hormone-disrupting foods, without building a solid nutritional foundation, your prostate will struggle to stay healthy in the long term. We're not talking about drastic changes or extreme diets. In fact, what truly makes a difference are simple, consistent actions. A tomato at lunch, a side of steamed broccoli at dinner, or a handful of pumpkin seeds during a midday craving. These small choices, when repeated over time, can lead to profound changes not only in your prostate, but also in your circulation, immunity, and overall quality of life. And the best part is, you don't need to become a master chef or spend a fortune on organic groceries. Just listen to your body, make small adjustments, and stay consistent. You've already walked more than half the journey. When your prostate functions well, you'll feel it right away. Deeper sleep, fewer nighttime trips to the bathroom, and a renewed sense of confidence and energy. Dear friend, what you eat each day can become your greatest ally or your silent enemy when it comes to prostate health. A diet rich in greens, healthy fats, and anti-inflammatory foods doesn't just reduce the risk of enlargement and inflammation. It also improves hormone balance, sleep, and even your overall well-being. And the most important thing here is not to change everything all at once, but to start with one small, smart choice and keep doing it consistently. Every time you say no to a fried sausage or replace a soda with a cup of green tea, that's you investing in your strength, confidence, and independence after age 60. Taking care of your prostate isn't some complex or distant task. It all begins with daily choices, your meals, your drinks, and the lifestyle you maintain. And as you've seen in today's video, simply cutting out harmful foods and adding a few essential nutrients can already create a significant improvement in your health and quality of life. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos, where I'll continue to share practical, easy-to-follow health knowledge to help you stay strong, in control, and energized at any age. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this video. Wishing you abundant health, peace of mind, and a body that keeps running smoothly and steadily through the years. See you again soon.